just tell me, what kind of a DIY project can end up costing more than if you just hired a pro in the first place?
Any project that is a multi-trade renovation is extremely high risk for a homeowner because not only do you have to be knowledgeable in one trade, now you're dealing with plumbing, electrical, painting, trim, and a multitude of other trades. So if you're going to do it yourself, it's maybe okay if you do one single trade where you can kind of pick up a little bit of knowledge and get that done. But when you get into a renovation, you always want to go and get a professional general contracting company to handle that.
Talk to me about installing trim, because that would look to most people to be fairly easy to do.
You know what, it's a fairly simple thing to do. Easy is a whole other thing. You got to get the angle right, you got to use the right nails, you have to recognize the curvature of the walls, you have to recognize how to work with different baseboards. Not every single trim job is one straight wall. You have angles, you have raises, you have different features that are involved, there's caulking, there's a lot of finesse involved. And it's also high risk. Trim is one of the highest risk things you can do. That's where most fingers are lost at the end of the day. It's very risky with that big blade.
All right, well, what kind of DIY projects then could the average homeowner do without getting into too much trouble?
You know, obviously things like painting. Homeowners love painting.
Right.
It's rare I see a homeowner do a perfect paint job,
but
it's something you can do at the end of the day. The risk is low. If it's a little bit sloppy, it'll take you more time and more paint, and you may never get a straight line at the end of the day, but at least your family's not at risk. It's not costing you substantial amounts of money, and you can get a fairly decent job at a much lower cost than it would if hiring contractors for something like painting. So that's something I suggest. If a homeowner is very handy, perhaps they can do trim, perhaps they can do flooring. You must be handy, you must have experience with power tools, you must know the installation methods, and you must have a lot of time on your hands.
Okay, great, thank you.
You're welcome.